It was 1853 on June the 13th day. Our gallant ship with her anchor weighed and Greenland sailed away, brave boys, Greenland sailed away. And look out, that crow's nest stood with a spyglass in his hand. There's a whale, there's a whale, there's a sudden great whale. She blows at every strand, brave boys. She blows at every strand. The captain is true on the quarter deck when a fine little man was he. Overhaul, let your devil tackles fly and send your boats to sea, brave boys. Send your boats to sea. The line played out and we struck that whale. She gave such a flourish with her tail. The boat capsized and 4 men were drowned. We never caught that whale, brave boys. We never caught that whale.
I came to Northern Ireland in 1955, 28th of June to be exact, and started to sail on container ships from Larne, Preston, all the local ports. And then I thought, and in between, I went to college to get my engineering degrees. And but after that, I thought I would have a change of ship, a change of venue, and I joined the whaling. We left Holland with the factory ship. 4 weeks it took to get to Cape Town. We then joined. We got our paperwork. You were told then to join this particular catcher. They're all numbered. I've done 2 seasons of 7 months at a time, which is a long time. No mail, no phones, no laptops. Yeah, that's the whale catcher. A gun on the bow. And yes, and there's a walkway from the bridge right up to the gun, which you can see in other pictures. And in the mast there is the big barrel, where one of the crew would sit in, spotting whales. Our part was to get all the machinery running, and then the next day you were going out for sea trials, as if you were chasing whales. Sometimes the gunner comes down in the engine room from the top and looks down the way we perform, and if he doesn't like anything, he can refuse to take you. Our aim was to kill as many whales as possible because we were there for the money. The tonnage of them is 650 ton. It doesn't sound very much, but then they're not built for cargoes or anything like that. They're purely built for killing. A number of years after the war, they felt that the oil and the meat was needed. In fact, most of the meat was sold to the UK. The material was, we used to call it bevertine, like a chamois, thick chamois trousers and shirt. Speed is of the essence, and maneuvering is of the essence. So maximum power you can get out in the engines. Then we had also brakes on the on the shafts. We had brakes that if they told you from the bridge, which is an open bridge, they give you the sign with the telegraph. We don't answer the telegraph to save time. We just take the orders and carry out whatever they want. Full speed, stern, half speed, whatever. because he's now chasing a whale, and he wants different speeds. So he signs with his arm to tell the guy on the bridge to go slow. And we get the answer on the telegraph, slow, we go slow. And then if he shoots the whale, we can hear it. We can hear the gun going off. It's a 90mm gun, so we can hear it. And then we know that we can nearly tell that the next minute he's going to tell us to stop. And if from, say, sometimes he has to go full speed to chase the whale, and then from full speed to stop. But it has to stop because sometimes the whales will make for the propellers. You see? Because it's a shiny thing going under the water, shiny thing, and the whale would be inclined to go for that and would damage the propeller. So that's why we have these brakes, that as soon as you put the maneuvering wheel to stop, it hits a small valve, and the valve activates the brakes, and the brakes come on, and it's like 10, 20 cars braking at the same time, squealing, and all the dust flying, but it has to stop. I sailed on one ship where a lot of the crew was from Donegal. They all knew each other, although I didn't know them, but they were mostly people on deck. Although we had one engineer, one third engineer, he was from Donegal. All good seamen, clannies, but good seamen, And on that particular ship, we lost 3 people. Two through swimming, first of all, and then got caught in very, very icy water. And one got in trouble, pulled the other one down. And they drowned. Another man, he jumped from the top of the gangway onto the hatch covers, but the hatch covers were not there. They had been taken off for repair and jumped straight into the hold. Killed, it's 20 minutes for us. Yeah. It's killed, we pull it alongside, we put in a big bamboo pole in it with flag, or another pole with a radar beacon. We pump it with air, we fill it with air, fill its lungs with air, and then it floats. Then we leave it, and then the chief officer, he phones it through, what position he left the whale, and then you have 2 buoy boats. Then they pick up the whale and go to the factory ship, and once they pull it on deck, 20 minutes and the whale is slaughtered, finished. Whale catcher, we get a bottle of gin and 6 beers free every fortnight. But sometimes there was no time to drink at all. You had it on the bottom of your bed, to keep it safe. And other times, yes, you had time to sit down and have a shot or 2 and a couple of beers, shared it with somebody else. But the crew, on deck crew, they get nips, shots, if you like. The cook gives it to them, they're entitled. But sometimes they saved it up. And we had one occasion where a guy saved it up, but he drank it all in once and he went berserk. He did. He did. He nearly killed somebody. We had big fights on board. playing cards. That was possible on the factory ship. Sit nice and quietly with your any of your mates having a game of cards. Factory ship would be trying to catch some sharks and put a couple of floats on the line and hang it overboard. And if a shark was hungry, catch it, get it on board, kill it, and process it for human consumption. Dead and floating about. You get these what you call orcas. Orcas, you've seen them on the TV, I'm sure. They're black and white. They have a big fin, you know, and but they have teeth. And in that particular area, they go for the whale's tongue. So the whale is now floating, waiting for it to be picked up. And these things come, and they usually go for the tongue. And when they pull that out, the whale will sink. Because the tongue will stop the air getting out. And so we then have a great big gun on board with big dum-dum bullets. And you shoot at these orcas. Keep shooting at them. And then they start bleeding. And they go for themselves. The sperm whale is the only whale with teeth, and he has got it in his bottom jaw. And a sperm whale, his feeding habits are, he crosses, when he starts feeding, he goes to the bottom of the ocean and crosses squid or octopuses. And sometimes you see him coming up with an octopus, tentacles all around his head, you know, and then he goes down again and, you know, fights to kill it. And that's where these teeth come in.
So some of these are huge, these?
Oh, these are huge, yes, because they leave great marks around his head, big scratch marks around his head. It's a whale with a massive head. You know, it's really big.